Well, good morning. What are we doing? Oh my god, early stream. But I'm surprised to see so many friends here. Hello, Mark. Second terrain. Hello, Claudia. Wie geht's? Volker, good morning. Nikki, hello to you. Rabonius, hello. Abimar, nice to see you. Yes, it is strange, right? Alex, hello to you as well. Toilet paper kick, hello. Terrain ahead, hello. Did I get paid extra for this? I don't know, Mark. We have to talk about that. Until hello to you guys. Right, yeah, here it is. I know I'm late to the party, but yeah, as you know, I've been busy with doctor appointments, etc. So finally getting a chance to stream this as well. And this morning I just saw they have officially announced a release date, which is tomorrow, 12th of March. So yeah, Rabonis, I'm not sure. Is there a way to get the second jetway connected? Maybe once we get those profiles. I'm not sure. Pilot 19, good morning. It's not possible. Yeah, I thought so here. Yeah. Nice. So, the idea is, guys, that... So I thought, well, you know, I could do shorter flights, demonstrate some things, but there have already been some really good... where's my headset? I'm just going to dial down the sounds a bit while we talk. So there's been some good streams already showcasing the aircraft. Hey, Fish Cop, yo, I hope you had a good work. No coffee in the house. What? Jesus, how can that happen? Yeah, so like I said, you know, you've probably seen some showcases already. For me, the real interesting thing, oops, sorry for hitting the microphone there. So the real interesting thing for me is, can this aircraft do a very long flight reliably? Because, I mean, this is what this aircraft is made for, right? It's made for long-range flying. I just realized I need to do one more thing, because I did want to show something today, guys. So I'm not sure if you heard about the FlyHub add-on, which is in the making as well, which has some great features. So this is an app which allows you to not only log your flights. Let me see. Do you want to restart now? Yeah, let's see. But also allows you to fly. Well, you know, lets you plan some routings, or let the app plan routings for you according to historical data, or some actual airliner data. So real-world kind of rotation information. But we'll get into that at some other time. Now, I did ask the developer if he could enter the historical routings from here. Well, the routing Frankfurt to Bogota at the moment is flown by the 787. So when I searched for this flight in this app, it only gave me the 787 as an option, which I said, well, I'd rather have, you know, the 340-600, because that's the aircraft I'm going to fly it with. So he quickly uploaded the historical data as well for the A340 routing there. And so that's why I'm not sure exactly, Mickey. I will have to check that where he gets the data exactly from. But there's lots of flights there. So yeah, this aircraft, so the A340-600, was used for quite some time to fly to Bogota, and the problem was for the A340-300, was the takeoff in Bogota. So performance-wise, it really had issues taking up any kind of, passenger load, cargo load from Bogota. So they changed it to the A340-600. Now you'll see, if you look at the required fuel for such a flight, today towards Bogota, we need about 119 tons of block fuel, which, look at the trip fuel, it's over 100 tons of trip fuel. Now compare this to the 787, which I think takes about, I would say maybe 60, 70 tons. The fuel load in total, I think, just for the trip fuel, it would be probably more in the region like 60 tons. So you can see that, and that with the same, pretty much the same cargo and passenger loading, you can see that the A340-600 was actually not very economical. And I know they made losses on this routing, but they didn't want to scrap it because it is a important routing for them. And so the 787 now has obviously, managed to get a much more economical, financial, maybe even profit from this now. But again, this is these values. The amount of fuel and the loading required, it needs a lot of engine power. And so the only option they had on this routing was to take 340-600. Let me just check here. There we go. So I've searched for this flight. And so the hub, FlyHub is now giving me the flight. I've scheduled this. So I'm going to initiate boarding here. It does pull the flight plan from SimBrief, which is nice, and it also has some nice things regarding to evaluate your flight. So it looks at things like how smoothly you're flying, if you are sticking to all the stabilization criteria, your landing performance, etc. And then it gives you an amount of points at the end, which hopefully later this evening we'll see. Right, but that is running, which is good. No, unfortunately, terrain ahead I wasn't. Hey, Abimaya, and Cargo Pilot, hello to you. Wie geht's? Good morning. So, I've never flown to Bogota IRL because back when they flew it on the 787, they used the routings for captain's training, and I was already finished with my training back then, and so I didn't get this routing at all. Good. Now, I've already... No, actually, I have not. I did want to check quickly regarding the ground services. Actually, let's do the weight and balance. So, I am going to have a look. So, let's initiate the... Yeah, let's initiate the pre-flight here. Flight in it, and it works with the uploading of the flight plan, as we know from the Toliss in the X-plane. Aviamar, I think not fully. Aviamar, the refueling. So I ordered GSX refueling, and it gave me the options how much fuel it should load in, and I then selected the last point, which was use the SimBrief value, and then the GSX fuel truck just broke it off. It just went away without fueling the aircraft. So I think it needs to be tweaked for this aircraft. Also, another thing, the WinWing hardware at the moment only works partially as well, because again, it's going to take a couple of days for the wind control guys to update their software with the profiles, or the lovely people with the MobiFlight app. Okay, so if they are onto that, I just checked. Let me just see again. I'm just going to check if they have updated anything here. So who knows? Maybe they have updated. So at the moment. No, so there's no update just yet. So Cool. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for joining at this early hour. So, give you a quick update. So what is planned? I am planning to do the departure now. Then I have to hop off to the doctors for the little appointment. And then later this evening, about 3 to 4 hours before landing, I'll be back. So I'll be back this evening at 1700 UTC. And then we have the remainder of the flight. Hopefully, it all works in one go. If not, we do have the option to autosave. Autosave is on. I'll take 10-minute intervals, and then you know, at least that works. And then we could jump in. I mean, I'll be monitoring the situation here during the day, obviously. And I'll note down also, and that's the thing really for me to see today, is I want to have a look at the fuel values. Yeah, so toilet paper kit, the reason why I'm not want to do that, because I want to log the whole flight, including with the FlyHub, to see how that works. And also, I really want to see if the aircraft holds through a almost 12-hour flight. That's the idea behind it, right? So, because we got the Cross the Pond coming up soon in April, and yeah, I mean, you know, it would be interesting to see if the aircraft is stable enough and if the aircraft has correct fuel values or fuel flow values. On SimBrief, there is a profile available already, interestingly enough, for the Aerosoft Toliss A340. So that's the value I've calculated with the low preset. I'll show you that here. So it does offer. It offers you the 340-600 Pro standard gross weight or high gross weight. So I chose just a standard gross weight. It doesn't really make much difference in the fuel value, as I just found out. Yeah, that's the value we're going to get. Right, let's see if GSX does the passenger loading at least. Request boarding.
Boarding requested.
Hey, Satric. Yeah, again, just, you know, the first part is like 1.5 hours until we departed. And then the, yeah, this evening, it should be a lot more interesting when we arrive in Bogota. Right, while that is going on, I'm going to quickly give you an overview of the flight time, etc. So, interesting flight, long routing, lots of time over the Atlantic. Hey, Felix. Where did Lufty fly this thing already? Right now, it's only North America and Rio. At the moment, I don't follow it, Robonius. I'm not sure exactly which routings 340-600s are flying at the moment. But they're going to be phased out. Once the 787s keep rolling out, and once the 777s are coming in at Lufthansa, 340s will be phased out, obviously. As we've just seen, because of that incredible required amount of fuel for these engines, right? I mean, we're talking about average fuel flow of 9 tons. That is almost in the regime of the 747. Although I think the 747-8 probably has a little bit less fuel flow than the A340-600. And then imagine the amount of weight the 747 can and passenger load the 747 can take on. You can clearly see this aircraft is definitely not the most economical. This is actually one of the worst economical aircraft, I think. Terrain, I have to look at that. Yeah, I'll check that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of these aircraft are based in Munich. Yeah, correct. Regarding texturing, again, guys, it's something you're going to have to decide if you like it or hate it or don't care. For me, I don't really mind. I don't think it's bad. It's a bit better than the X-Plane version, obviously. Yeah, all in all, I can't really complain. I mean, But again, you know, I'm not judging anyone who says they really hate these textures and they can't live with it. You know, I fully accept your opinion there. Whatever you know, it's your money. If you decide to buy it, then you know. Fish coffee, yeah. Exactly. Oh, that annoyed me so much. The way he was frying the colleagues there. And he doesn't even fly the Airbus, right? So, oh, toilet paper cake. Nice. Thank you much for the update there. Routings regarding A340-600. Nice. One of the important things, guys, and that's the first thing I've really checked. One of the really important things, obviously, is performance. So FPS performance, and that is actually good here. And if you look at the cabin, you know, this is stock, right? This is out of the box. I mean, it's not the new Allegris cabin, right? But you know, this is a stock cabin at the moment, which is, I think, is fine. I mean, oh yeah, and of course the question comes: do the toilet doors work? Check myself. I don't think so. No, not yet. Mark is saying. Mark said the London controllers. Jamie said the GSX profiles will come soon. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. But anyways, who cares about toilet doors, right? Good. So 7:45 is supposed to be off blocks, so we have to hurry up a bit. And the flight time is a whopping 11 hours, 25 minutes. Hey Arni, Grüße nach Bremen, wie geht's dir? Ja, Wetter hier? Ja, hat ziemlich geregnet heute Nacht, ne? Well, it's been raining here in Bremen, but it's okay at the moment. But I think it's going to be a bit more rainy today. Yeah, now obviously we know this from X-Plane, it does have some faults, etc. So I would have to play around with those at some point to see how, you know, how reliable they work here. So 11:25, and the alternate is Medellin, and it takes about 3.8 tons of alternate fuel. So the minimum fuel we're supposed to have at Bogota is 7.2, but I have included 20 minutes extra, just in case we go around, which can happen quickly in Bogota, or, as we'll see in a minute, there is obviously some cumulus. It doesn't really say thunderstorms, but you never know up there. You may have some heavier showers in the final, which cause you to board the approach. So 20 minutes extra is a good value there. Yeah, I mean 300 faults. The thing is, so Mickey, the thing is, you know, what faults they claim are included and how many of those are correctly simulated in the ECAM. So yeah, these are things I would have to check. So I know from the Toliss, I think in the Toliss I found some mismatches, at least in the A320 failure stuff. So, but again, it happens because of the different software standards, etc., etc. Right? Exactly. So tomorrow is the release officially. They announced it this morning. Hey, Pomfriedel, hello. So yeah, they have announced the official release tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow will be a lot of A340s flying around. Good. So Frankfurt here at the we're taking off 18. Wind from the south, which is good. 9 degrees, 1017. And Bogota at the moment rainy as well. But I mean, you know, we're still flying for 12 hours, so don't really care that much about the actual weather. Prop 30 this afternoon, a bit hazy. All in all, it's going to be northwesterly winds, which is interesting because then we can fly the RNF approach, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful coded RNF approach. And I would love to fly the 3-2 left approach there to see how the aircraft performs. Then we also have Prop 30. I mean, we're arriving around 20 UTC. All right, so this could be potentially happening. Some rain showers, tower cumulus. Yeah, so we'll see. That's why 20 minutes extra is not bad. Right, then we have Medellin as the alternate airport. And Medellin has, yeah, in the morning some fog, but then later some rain showers. But in between where we're landing should be fine. No bigger threats there. So that's a good alternate airport. Okay. Then let's have a look quickly at the departure route. Hey, fly with Paul. Doing well, how are you? Yeah, I'm surprised there are a lot of people here. So I know that some people obviously are living in Australia or Asia, and I know some people had night shifts, just returned from work, so GG's for that. Rabonius, take care. See you later then, yeah. Good, we are going to depart out of runway 18, and we are planning for the... Now, I just wanted to open Avitab, but Avitab doesn't work here, so I'm going to do this differently. Oh, I should take my iPad, but let's see. So we need the wheel kick for Lima departure. London controller found some difficulties. Yeah. Well, I mean, so in Mickey, I have to say I tried RNAV approaches yesterday to make sure that I'm not running into bigger issues, and I, at least at Bogota, it flew the RNAV approaches very nicely. Hey, Lilienthal, good morning. So I didn't find any issues yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Good, then we've got all the routing here. And then at arrival, I am initially going to program the ILS 14 left Zulu, I think it is. Yeah, you are. So that's the routing, guys. And you can see there's a lot of water below us. And yeah, we're going to have to look at some alternate airports around. Interesting, again, you know that there is the ETOPS kind of rulings, but it has changed more towards the extended range operations regarding even 3 and 4 engine aircraft, which doesn't really have to do with an engine failure stuff, but it could still have to do with fire suppression stuff, so cargo fire and the amount of suppression time you have there. So that's why there are rules in place regarding these diversion times, but we'll have a look at that later. Yeah, so let's have a quick look at the airport chart here. Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. Actually, in this regard, let's do Bogota first. And the star approach. Enter. Why am I? Yeah, now we are. It just took some time. Let's have a look at the Zulu approach there. Yeah, so that will be the Zulu approach via Ambes. Yeah, we can do that initially. Now, the approach I hope to do later on, I'll show you that here quickly, is the Whiskey approach 3 to left. This one here. Also starting at Ambes. And this is an approach I actually had to train in the simulator for the 787. Because if you only can land on the 3.2s, then that's the approach you're going to have to fly. And that's quite challenging regarding energy management. And so we did several approaches there in the simulator for the 787 to practice for this one. And this is interesting and a quite challenging approach as well for the Toliss, I can imagine. But like I said, initially we would have planned for the ILS Zulu 14 left. it is going to be the Doppler for Echo approach with the approach via Ambes. And that's going to insert that. So quickly just check that we don't have any discos in there. It's too early. Discontinuities. There we go. Apo, hello to you. Yeah. Now, one thing I found landing here, the Toliss, Aerosoft Toliss 340-600 in the sim here, it takes some effort regarding the flare. I initially also produced some hard landings because of the fact that you actually have to pull back quite hard to get into the flare. It does take practice, guys. Gear inspection time, indeed. I saw you know, Captain A320, German live streamer, also real world captain. He actually flew the A340-600 in real life, and I think his first landing was also pretty hard, right? So he, I mean, you know, he knows how the aircraft behaves at IRL, right? He knows how to land the A340. So, yeah, we'll see how it behaves. Again, it's, you know, especially, so here's the thing, guys, regarding, you know, textures, sounds. I cannot speak for you guys. I can only speak for myself. And at the moment, has anyone heard any hey, Phase 2, has anyone heard any pricing regarding this add-on? Because this is literally one of the big things then, isn't it? And which you have to decide if it's worth the money for you, right? So, you know, people like me can only showcase things, but you know me from the Toliss in X-Plane, I have never really worried too much about textures. Okay, the price will be published tomorrow. Thanks, German Monster. Okay. Pricing will be on release. Okay, thank you much, Kenyan. Okay, and Star Miner, thank you. Oh yeah, Until, that was so funny. I had to laugh as well. That was a classic one. That was a classic one. Alright, let's start the APU already. I'm interested. So, should the fuel pumps all be off at the moment? I'm not even sure. I don't think the transfer can, just the main pumps. But we'll see. Yeah, so that was funny. I saw that as well. And yeah, I mean, again, you know, texture-wise, you can make, you get an impression watching streams, right? Now, one thing, now, I did get a pre-release copy, as you can see. Now, the guys from Toliss know that I am definitely speaking out on things, you know, that I don't like, and speak out about things that my community reports on, because I think, you know, potential from a customer point of view, you know, if that decides whether or not they will buy the add-on, you know, I will tell them. And I am going to pay for this, simply because then I know definitely, you know, whatever I find, whatever I say, you know, it's my opinion, and not being, you know, kind of biased by the fact that I have got this as a pre-release. But again, the textures is something that I have criticized a bit as well, and I compared the displays to the FENIX, right? So I'm saying, if you have the chance to build something, you know, I wouldn't say from ground up, but something new in Microsoft Flight Sim, then why, you know, not just do the texturing and you know, improve on the fonts and yeah, the textures in general. I know that Aerosoft is responsible for the the texturing. Oh, we've got Cat 1 in the house. And another thing, I think they changed that by now. At the beginning, the green coloring was like a highlighter green, and I said, I know the real aircraft has somewhat brighter green colors, but those were too bright, and I said, this is putting me off. And I'm not super critical regarding texturing and coloring, but that put me off. And I said, look, you know, my input. Just dial down, dim down on the green colors a bit, and it looks to me like they have on the screens. But yeah, anyways, it's your call regarding texturing. You know, if you can live with it, whatever price it comes out, then let's see. Hey Ghost, how are you doing? Anyone know? So the real aircraft, the real A340-600. Yeah, those came with EIS-2, right, with the LCDs. Or are they actually A340-600 with EIS-1 flying around? So it's just the 340-300s. Yeah, I know they were EIS-1, yeah. I'm just wondering if the 340-600s were... Let's get some APU bleed on. Good. Yeah, somebody noted on the fuel, and this is a thing that caught my eye as well. So there is a difference. I just loaded in the wind data, right? So if we go to wind data, it is including the cruise wind. The average wind component is minus 20 something, 25 or something. And this is the thing I want to check today. I want to see how the fuel burn relates to the sim brief values, right? Because this is something, especially on a long flight, this matters. So people that do long range flying, you want to have these, you know, pretty close to the real data and be accurate. We'll see. Ghost, whatever comes out with the performance tool. Good, so that's in. Let me just check the routing. So distance here is 5123, and on SimBrief it says 5134. That's good. So we could definitely say the routing is correct. Another thing I want to try is if I go to data, go to pilot routes. So if I put in like Frankurt, Bogota, store active flight plan, let's see, return, pilot routes, hang on. So that probably will not work, let's see, Bogota 1, store, yeah, it doesn't work. Which is a shame, because that's something I would have liked to check if the routing is inserted correctly. Yeah, me too, Felix. I honestly did the promises from the what they call the 787, the new ones. You know, they've put themselves out far out the window with the promises. The Vector, thank you, Felix. Yeah, the Vector 787. I mean, I'm excited for that one. Try not to get hyped, right? But man, this will be for me. That will be fantastic. I love the 787, and that will be great for streaming and content creation. I think so, Ghost. Yeah, I'll definitely have a chat with him, and maybe stick them that I flew the 787. So good. Routing is in, and by the looks of it, with the distance, we'll accept that as it is. And got the weights in. How's the boarding going? Loading going? Weight and balance. It looks to me. So let's apply these, and so that seems to be. load it. 214.3 and the CG said the zero fuel weight is 25. Now let's see, 25. Something that came up that I saw already, and that kind of confused me a bit. So if I go at the trim wheel here, so just so that you guys, okay, so well, I mean, we're gonna have to look at the takeoff CG, right? 28.8. So stick with me for this one. 28.8. 28.8. And if you look at that trim wheel scale here, yeah, so that's 26, that's 30, okay? So 27 is in the middle, sorry, disregard. So 28 is in the middle. So 28.8, 29 would be somewhere like up 4.2, 4.3. Would you agree? Right. And let's do the takeoff performance full length. Wind, Q and H. Let me see. Let's go weather ATIS. Let's do this later. Yeah, it seems like it goes. Yeah, it does. It should set automatically. That's not the point. The point is I'm going to check the performance data because yesterday I did not get a matching value there. Can we print this? Printer doesn't work, okay. So we have 1017 indeed. And showers of rain, so runway wet, 9 degrees, engine anti-ice required. Let's do that. And then let's do runway condition wet, anti-ice, engine anti-ice, takeoff weight 334.1. CG for takeoff, config auto, air conditioning, off is fine with me. And let's compute that. Yeah. Good. And this is the thing, look. So, flaps 2, it says flex 68 will take 154, 175, 179, and up 2.5. And so that's what gets me confused. Maybe now be aware this is not the release candidate for tomorrow or anything. So this is still the version they've sent out to the streamers last week. So they know of a couple of bugs and they are in the process of fixing those bugs. Indeed, yeah, these are 777 speeds. I agree. Green dot is 254, and the reason why I mentioned this is that that this is the speed which is interesting for clean speed. So 250 below 10,000. Hey, Svenja, grüße dich. Wie geht's dir? Aber ich weiß, dir geht's gut. Greetings. I hope you're doing well. So 254 is pretty much, 250 is fine, right? We can go green dot, i.e. clean configuration after takeoff once we allow it on the routing. We don't have to ask for ATC really. I mean, strictly speaking, yes, but I mean 4 knots. I wouldn't tell this ATC to be honest. But that's just me. Right, G plus primary, that's all set. Timing, yeah, we've got to go, right? Okay. So performance, flaps 2, and I'm going to put in 2.5 because otherwise I have a fear that I'm going to get shouted at by the system. Exactly, Ghost. Yeah, that's the thing, right? You have to ask for permission to go above 250 knots. So the max takeoff weight will be 368. Stop margin wise, if we take the lower V1, we have 421 meters, which I prefer on the wet runway. That's why I take 154. So 154, then 175, 179. 79. We do full length, and the temperature for the flex was 68. Flaps 2. Put in there. Oh, if put in F. So you got two values. Flex 68, but there's also an abbreviation D for D rate. So that's why you want to have, or you have to put in F for the flex there. Yeah, you have another very stressful day, Svenja. I can imagine. Yeah. I can imagine that very well. Mickey, good question. I mean, I can have a look. But the problem is how we would put that in. So if you put in D-rate 10 format error, D-rate 68 format error. No, so I would have to check what the format would be for that. Direct line to 45 minutes to cruise, yeah. Indeed. The thing tomorrow. Tomorrow is official release date. They said today, this morning they said tomorrow official release, yeah. Right, we're going to have NDP 2. So I'm going to put in 1360, and engine failure 8, the 1.8 is 1900. Yeah, 1760 degrees, 25 miles. So secondary flight plan, copy active. We'll do a return. Now obviously we are heavy, above max landing weight. In case of, we'll preferably dump some fuel, but if it's time critical, we would still land. Take 25 left, we'll start via, and then we'll do one more thing, fix info, Frankurt 1.8. And again, these are things I expect to work because they were working in the X-plane version of the Toliss A340. So I just simply assume that these things work here. Yeah, that looks fine. Looking good. Alright. So that's all done. Loading is done, fueling done, done the performance. And so checklists. Is there a way? Preparation checklist. These are like flow checklists, right? I'm not too happy with that. Let me just check. I know I have a checklist somewhere, right? Do I have one here actually? Yet to change that. There's in the tray. Okay, on the tray. Which tray? Hang on. Tray. Ah, okay. So that's the before start. Okay. The thing is, tray table, yeah, thanks guys. So yeah, so this is a good tip, and there is no preliminary checklist, right? We're ready for breakfast. So yeah, briefing wise, guys, it is something you have to look at on the 340-600. It's a big aircraft, and there are restrictions sometimes on airports where you are allowed to taxi with this. So if we take the airport chart, taxi chart, A380 restrictions, 748, 777, parking stands. Okay, I don't see any restrictions for the 340-600 here. Alright, and then we are fine. So we'll take the taxi chart overview. Yeah, taxi out. So we're Alpha 19 here. Pushback November 5, and we'll take out taxi out November 5, November. Full length. No hotspots there. One thing I'm a bit disappointed with already is you can't pin those charts. It seems, which is something I see as a standard these days. So all kick departure. There we are for Lima, out of departures. So we have the Ulkick for Lima, which is the longer one because of the restrictions regarding the climb. So, yeah, 250 below 10,000, RF1 required, initial climb 4,000, waypoints 800 feet, Delta Fox 160, max 220 knots, so flaps have to be out. Then we go kind of speed up towards Delta Fox 200, 6,000 above. Very important. Then we've got PPX, Gizmo, max 250, and Ulkick. Initial climb 4,000. Yes, apparently, Felix, somebody was already posting earlier on that Windwing have said they are wind control. They're called now. Wind control did say they try to get their the hardware, or they're working on the compatibility with the Aerosoft Toliss 340. Yeah. It pins them automatically below. Hang on. Oh, you're right. Hang on. Recent. Oh, the recent charts. Okay. Okay, but yeah, but Frankfurt, for example, is not showing. Okay. Good. Anyways, so 4,000 is set. We are pretty much set, right? The only thing really I can say is 4,300 is the MSA. In case of engine failure, straight out. Runway track, acceleration 1900, cleanup, climb 5000, radar vectors, 25 left if we need a quick return, and 330 tons landing weights in this case. Right, let's do this. Before start, items. Let's take ground power off. And beacon goes on. Seatbelts should be on. And transponder. Yeah, we're not on VATSIM today, guys, so I'm just going to set some squawk. That's it. Good. Before start, we have gear pins removed. Signs on and auto. Then we have fuel 119,760 kilograms. Balanced. Good. If this thing catches fire, we're doomed. Altimeters 1017, 370 feet, set 3 times. Takeoff data inserted with 154, 175, 179, flex 68. Beacon is on, parking brake is on. Let's do the before start checklist. Completed. Hey, Levens. Servus. Yeah, so yeah, this is important stuff, right? I do agree. The default now, I changed my setting, the seat position. I know that you know, it should be more like this, where the red ball there, you see the red and the white ball there. So the red ball should cover the white ball, and that would mean that you have the correct seating position. The thing is, though, if I do that, it's more like this, and I don't know. This looks weird to me. It looks like I'm too high and looking down too far. Right, so that's why I've changed it to this position. But you can do whatever you like, right? Good, let's close the doors, let's get going. 45, well, 5 minutes late, not too bad, not too bad. So that goes off, chocks off, and let's close. Close. Let's arm the slides. Slides arm, fantastic. And then let's get pushback. Enough fuel for many grill parties. I mean, can you imagine? So, did you see, guys, the fuel, especially the kerosene prices? They kind of quadrupled. So that's why a lot of airlines' share prices went really crazy.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for
I know
pushback.
Lufthansa does hedge their fuel prices. So they said something like they hedged like 70% or 80% of the fuel prices for this year. So any airline that doesn't hedge the for the kerosene fuel prices, they are going to be in a bit of a problem.
Departure check completed. Bypass being inserted.
Oof, dark clouds here. Yeah, so anything regarding the aircraft itself, the simulation is down here, and these tabs are things you need for the flight. So that's a nice kind of separation there. Oh, weight and balance. Let me just check again. So we have that. Trim value was set.
Locking gear.
That's set automatically here. Lock fuel. This will be interesting. So again, we note down here at the moment it says 49 minutes. It should be 20 minutes. Okay, so at the moment it is a bit too high. Right, let's do a quick edit pushback on map. Love that feature. I always have the same issue that
Release parking brakes.
brakes release, probably
Commencing
push. Not bad.
All engines clear.
Not bad.
Start at will.
We're doing okay with the time. Good. We've read the checklist. Fuel pumps are all on. We have APU bleed. Beacon is on. So let's do engine start, and let's start engine 1, and then once we get about 20%, where's my N2? 20%. N2, I think. I think it's reference to N2, right? I mean, these are 3-shaft engines. So they've got ignition. It's 10% N3. Okay, thanks. Right, so we start engine 2 already. Yeah, I dimmed down the external sounds a bit because usually I give you guys jump scares. So let's do some. I'm gonna dial up the sounds again here so that you guys can hear the engine. I think so. So I said Sven said 10% N3. Cool. Yeah, and Sven would know. Yeah, for sure. Right, set park brake. Set.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
So start valves closed. Let's start engine 3. And again, once we have 10% N3, we can go start engine 4. That's really quick though. The thing, I don't think they will they abandon X-plane. So Toliss, I don't think they will. No. It sounds realistic from my experience. I did fly as a passenger on the 340-600. Oh, engine's not started. Call you back later. Interesting. So what? Now you have to wait until the engines have started? Really? Huh? Hang on.
Cockpit to ground. Engine's not started yet. I'll call you back later.
Yeah, maybe that's GSX not being... Yeah, so it's finishing pushback there, I think.
Unlocking here.
As Volker says, they said interview to Toliss, next focus is X-plane to bring all new stuff in there. Nice, okay, yeah. So that's good, good news. Right, there we go. So we got GSX pulling back, fantastic. So let's do the after start items. Flaps 2.
Left is clear, right is clear.
APU off. And trim is set automatically here. So let's do the flight controls. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right. There's the all clear signal. Full left, full right. Oh, there's one more thing I want to check here. Yeah, no, so tiller isn't moving with the rudder pedals. Right, all clear was given. Then let's read the after start checklist. Anti-ice currently not required. It seems like dry at the moment. Pitch and rudder trim. We have up 2.5 set. Rudder trim is neutral. Flight controls checked. Flaps config 2s checked. After start checklist completed. Right. Let's do turn off light on. Taxi light on. Off we go. Oh, there's a headset here. Hang on. So that's noise cancelling headset. Nice. If you want that. Taxing, that's something I've noticed already. Taxing is very nice, especially with the tiller. The aircraft feels heavy, which you don't find often in Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm going to do a bit of an overshoot here. It's a big aircraft. Taxi cam. Oh yeah, hang on. Taxi tag. Taxi cam. Taxi cam. Taxi. So one thing though, you can't really see the taxi line there. Interestingly, you can see the surroundings a bit, but right now there's not really a point to have the taxi cam if you can't see a taxi line, right? Built on satellite images. Have they said anything regarding how to fix that? It depends on the airport. Ah, okay. So if the satellite data has the values of the center line, then use it. Ah, okay. Toilet paper. I understand. Okay. Good. Cabin. Let's do the cabin ready. Right now, what I like. I get immersed. So with the sounds, with the aircraft behaving, somewhat sluggish, giving you the sense of, having a massive aircraft, that's nice. Radar, BWS, takeoff config. A bit of rain shower in the departure sector, which we can see here as well. Looking good. Then let's read a taxi checklist or takeoff checklist. We have auto brake max, signs on, cabin is ready, spoilers on. But wouldn't it be like takeoff no blue? Takeoff config more. Yeah, that's like takeoff no blue, right? Takeoff check is completed. Yeah, we could have a check at some point in the US, yeah, regarding that data. Thank you much, Ghost. I'll save that. Yeah, appreciate that. Cheers. Livin. If you have an airport on your route which has RF, so the required firefighting doesn't mean that you can land. You would have to see. I mean, it's one thing what they report in the NOTAMs. So the firefighting category may be downgraded, and there's something regarding pre-planning, so probably pre-planning, especially with ATOPS operations, it would not be possible to select that airport. But then again, once you're in flight, and let's say the aircraft is on fire, and your only option would be to land at an airport that doesn't have the firefighting capability, you would still land there to evacuate the passengers. Because if an aircraft has an uncontained fire, the only thing that saves you is get the aircraft on the ground quickly and evacuate. So, yeah, Mudflap, like I said, it's a split stream today. So we're doing a 12-hour flight, really, or 11 hours 30 flight today. I'll do it in real time, but I won't be streaming the whole time. But this PC will be running until this evening. So at least I don't have to turn on the heating today. And yeah, this evening we'll see the landings. So I plan to come back this evening at 1700 UTC for the arrival and the yeah. Good. Alrighty, we are ready. Let's do the line of items. We did say packs off, right? So flags are off. Actually, let me check something here. That's okay, so that's working. So there we go, TCAS. Flags are off.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Conditions safe.
Channel subscribers.
Robonius, thank you much for the 12 months.
Subscribers, please make your way to the
Appreciate that.
complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium.
Cross sector is not available here, so let's do...
Made it just in time for departure, it seems. Smile.
Indeed. Yeah, lineup checklist, take off runway 18 full length confirmed. We have pack 1 and 2 off, TCAS, TARA, lineup checklist complete. Right, let's see if we can manage some sort of... oh, look at that rain shower at the end there. Nice. Right, let's see. Can we do a proper lineup with thrust at it? I didn't overshoot enough, I think. This aircraft is so flippin' long. I've done better, I think. Hang on. So that's a line with the runway heading. Here it is. Let's see. How did we do? Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. I'll take that. Good. Let's start the chrono. Wind from the front. Let's go. Takeoff. Actually. Stable and takeoff. Manflex 68 SRS auto thrust. Blue. Oh, this is heavy. Look at how slow it accelerates. Blimey. Well, we paid for the whole runway. We're going to take the whole runway. Here's 100 knots. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. V11. Oh. Here's rotate. Oh. Careful with the pitch. Climbing now about 12 degrees pitch. Pause rate. Gear up. Weather radar's working, which is nice. Alright, lever climb, thrust climb, climb on blue, auto thrust, 220 knots limit. So we're going to put the flaps to 1 once we accelerate a bit. But we're going to have to leave them at flaps 1. Goes, flaps 1, speed's checked, flaps 1. Right, climb power set. Here comes pack. Pack 2. So the flight model goes, good question. I did, when I tried it the first time, I complained about, you know, the little lag when you let go of the flight stick. It does continue rolling for like, you know, half a second. I said, that just seems a bit much. But, I mean, they have real-world A340 pilots. They're testing, and they said that's exactly how the real aircraft behaves. So I am in no way qualified as I haven't flown this in real life. So I'm not qualified to judge that, right? So if they say that it's correct, then I would assume it is correct, right? Apart from that, it handles nicely. So what I'm saying is that you do get a sense of the aircraft being heavy, and we know how terrible the baseline Microsoft flight model is. So they have tweaked the aircraft behavior quite nicely, where you will get a sense of I wouldn't say so much inertia, but you know, the sense of the aircraft being heavy. Right, let's see, the total air temperature is plus 10, so we may as well switch on the engine anti-ice now. Now we have altimeters, standard, set, cross-checked. Still on flaps 1, but I am going to clean up the aircraft now. Let's go beyond S-speed. Flap 0, speed is checked, flap 0. And green dot was about 254, so that's why I'm going to use selected speed here. And autopilot on. Ground spoilers disarmed. Taxi lights off. 9 degrees total air temperature right now. It's a bit weird. I found, guys, regarding lighting now, we're inside a pretty big cloud, right? And the cockpit just seems, it's not here only, it's like every aircraft. It just seems too bright. Even the outside aircraft skin seems too bright. Nauheim? Hang on. Does Nauheim have a DME? I mean, I can tune in, let me tune in Frankurt here quickly. So Fox. I know that one does have DB. Yeah, look. So here we do get a DB indication. So I think probably Nauheim, so Victor Fox Mike doesn't have a DB. It's just a VOR. Yes, Felix, I've done some landings, and I commented, yeah, TWR also, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, TW. Yeah, so Sven, you have a nice day. Viel Spaß. That's a long aircraft. Thank you much, TW. And Phipps Pilot, hello, good morning. Yeah, so again, I'm happy with the flight modeling, and the landings do, that's how I said at the beginning, the landings do need practice, because you do need to put in a bit more effort in the flare. Yeah, Barracks, I already checked, thank you. Yeah, so I just had it off, so you guys can hear the engine sounds. But all in all, the impressions I'm getting when I'm flying this add-on is it does give me that immersion. I'm flying a big jet, and that's something I do like. And I talked about the textures. Yes, there are some things which I don't like with the texturing, but it doesn't put me off that much, you know, to start disliking the add-on. So that's for you to make the call, not for me. Yeah, people are saying 40 feet flare. Yeah, honestly, if you take that as a first reference, I think you're fine. But I would practice from that. I'm just going to dial down the sim sounds just a tad here. So, you know, I would take that as a baseline and then practice with that. Because there will be people that do a flare at 40 feet with a certain stick input, and then you have people that do it at 30 feet with more stick input. Now, the only warning I would speak out with this aircraft type is that you have tail strike risk. So that's, yeah, the pitch call out. So you have to be careful with the pitch. So any kind of fast and big pitch inputs, you know, may result you in a pitch up moment. Yeah, you don't really want to have. Hey, Super Grumpy. Oh, nice! You're flying XPeng 12 346 from Cape Town. Oh, beautiful. That was my very last flight before retirement. Cape Town, Frankurt. Yeah, have a great flight, Groby, and happy landings. Yeah, Till, I agree. Every aircraft add-on here really should force you, thank you, Groby, should force you to practice with it and practice landings with it. Yeah, 2 full days, yeah, it was Starminer, yeah. Good, so we're now passing that restriction to 50 knots. About to get back to... So even that we're above level 100, we still have to maintain 250 knots for the climb. So just waiting to pass that waypoint. There it is, speed coming managed. And then we can switch off this. Anti-ice, yeah, we've got some more clouds there. We'll leave the engine anti-ice running for now. Seat belts, looking at the pitch is fine. Seatbelts auto. Let the fun begin. Good. What time is it? Yeah, I've got to hop off soon to get to my doctor's appointment. Yeah, but that was nice departure. Nice immersive departure. Speeds. So LNAV, VNAV tracking was nice. Hand flying was good. No complaints at this point. Hey Organ, how you doing? I would say this aircraft feels... I would have to do a direct check again, but if anything, hand flying, this aircraft feels a bit more laggy in regards to the pitch at least. Not so much the roll, but otherwise, it is similar to the X-Plane. And Stick Figure, thank you much for 18 months now. Guys, thank you so much. And on this topic regarding flight model X-Plane Microsoft, I bought the FSLabs Cessna 172 because on the last stream I was flying the Cessna in Microsoft Flight Sim to practice for my real-world Cessna flying. And I particularly bought that add-on in X-Plane 12, yeah, TW, that to practice, proper pitch and power values, and to have the proper aerodynamic simulation in X-Plane. And it is a big difference flying the Cessna in X-Plane compared to Microsoft. And yeah, one of the things I would like to do this evening after we landed is that we have a look at raw data, not raw data, sorry, direct law hand flying. Because we know that right now the flight model is superimposed, if you want to call it that, by the flight control computers, so the fly-by-wire simulation in the Toliss here. So when you switch off the augmentation, that kind of gives you the true flight model behavior, which I'm interested to find out later today. But that, again, that's for the later. How much do I miss flying IRL? Airline flying, not too much. There are some instances where I'm kind of get a flashback, and yeah, I kind of think, oh yeah, that was nice. But I wouldn't say I'm really missing flying. And I'm still dreaming about flying as a pilot. I dreamt about flying the 737 last night. And then I was writing stuff into the technical logbook, the paper logbook. Then we went into the, of the aircraft, and I thought, I'm an idiot. We don't have a paper logbook anymore. It's all electronic. Now I have to do it again. So I have to get back to the aircraft to do the electronic flight back. And then I said, oh, hang on, stop. I realized, while I was dreaming, I realized that I've retired. I think that's the first step. I think that's the first step. Right. Cool. Let's have a look here at the estimated fuel on board. Now, 22.5. Yeah, so that's definitely... We should only have about 3 tons extra, I think, and not 10. So it's a bit of a difference in the calculations. But again, after today's flight, 11 hours, 30 minutes, so we should have 7.2. Right. Too much proper form. Yeah, probably. Right. Cool. All right, guys. That will be it for now. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'm surprised how many people actually found the time to join today. Thank you so much for that. And I'll be back at 1700 UTC. Hopefully all in one go, and then we'll do the arrival and the approach. Hey, and good morning. Into Bogota. Looking forward to that. Is it really mud flap? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, and the thing is, one last thing regarding the FSLabs Cessna 172, it has lots of scenarios pre-made, so failure scenarios. So that's something I'm eager to try out. Yeah. Thank you very much, how you are. Just a routine checkup at the doctor's, don't worry. So just routine stuff. All good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you later.